Okay. Good morning, world. How are we today? Okay. This is going to be a little bit trial and error this morning. Because we got a new car and so I've had to try to find a place in the new car that I can put the phone holder. And because there's like a thing on the dash that opens, I couldn't put it there. So, and the way it's all shaped and everything, I've had to attach the phone holder to the window this time instead. And I know a lot of people do that, but it just seems really awkward for like the view. So I have tried to face it a little more so you can see some scenery instead of just steering wheel. And look, I will try to fiddle with it and see if I can find a better position or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, just wanted to make probably a short video this morning. Yeah, so we all know about Trump with his ultimatum of 48 hours for Iran. And now he's like, going on the back foot about it. And said that, there's been some, what did he say? Productive talks. But no one sort of believes him that there has been any kind of productive talks. Mostly also because Iran said that they were not having any more negotiations with Trump. The last couple of times that Iran was trying to engage in negotiations and talks, they got attacked. People were assassinated. So, anywho, we all don't really, do we, know what the truth is and what's really going on. Sort of always one of those things where it's like later on we figure out what the truth is, and anywho, I was watching yesterday another video from David Icke talking about the planned collapse. And I know he's got a whole website and everything set up that I think he does with his family or his son or something, and called Iconic. And I haven't actually subscribed to that yet, so I didn't watch the full video. I just saw the part that they release onto YouTube. But all of that, what he's talking about, basically that, the cult that's really running the world and really running the show and pulling the strings on all these puppets that, we think are running the show, but they're not really running the show. Anyway, he's saying about that, basically like that wars and everything are all sort of like planned events in order to change the status quo, to change the way things are. And that, prior to World War One, things are very different to how they were after World War One. Prior to World War Two, things are very different to how they were after World War Two. And that this is just the next version of that, the next one. And you know, I've heard a lot of people, you know, as well, talking about, you know, just that this, like, even not even people making YouTube videos or anything, but just like people in the comment sections, you know, like, saying like that they think that this is all a planned thing, so that they can permanently raise cost of living, you know, like how much groceries are, how much this is, how much that is, how much fuel is, and, you know, pointing out as well that, you know, governments earn tax on every, you know, goods and service that's sold, don't they? So they make more money off of the price of things even being higher. And, you know, it's just, when you think about stuff like that, like if they really are on purpose, like choreographing world events or wars, even COVID, you know, nothing went back to the prices before COVID, did it? Well, they didn't here, you know, and it's like, if they are actually choreographing these world events, which in reality, in real life, are destroying people's homes, destroying communities, destroying nations, and killing so many people. And if they are doing all of that on purpose, with absolute disregard for life, and that it's all a planned thing, and they are making private, you know, handshake deals behind closed doors, and making money for themselves, and that's the whole purpose. Would we not be absolutely disgusted, mortified, enraged to find that out? Would we not? Like, of course we would, right? Of course we would. And so they want to do layer upon layer upon layer, make the lie so, you know, what's the word, like, just so entwined with detail, so believable, so, you know, manipulative on different levels, to make you believe that that's the real truth, to make you believe that that's the whole story. There's nothing else going on. And of course, we know from history, and when certain events have happened and their narrative, their story has been picked apart, you know, video footage picked apart, documents picked apart, you know, we've caught them out before, haven't we? And, you know, nowadays it's also like you are risking a lot by talking about different theories, you know. I mean, they're theories, right? They're theories, and it's just like when a police investigator, you know, is working a case. What are they doing? They have theories that they follow, that they, you know, try to find the evidence to see which theory the evidence fits and whatnot, so they can work out what's truly happened. That's the same thing that people are doing in real life. You know, like we are investigating people. We're investigating events. You know, nowadays, like, everybody is kind of skilled at investigating things and pulling things apart and deciphering the truth in situations. You know, so, like, people are dum-dums. People aren't stupid. And it's like more and more so, you know, like, truth comes to light. That's why also, like, people won't let the Epstein files go, because, you know, why would we? Why would we let the rich and elite and most powerful get away with atrocities just because they're the most rich and elite and powerful? You know, it's just like when celebrities don't think that they ought to be arrested for driving under the influence and endangering other people's lives, you know, and things like that. Like I just saw recently with the Justin Timberlake video footage coming out, like, you know, his friend basically being like, but that's Justin Timberlake, like, you know, who sings like Sexy Back. Like, are you seriously going to arrest him? Yeah, lady, because, you know, he broke the law that everybody else has to follow, and he endangered lives. You know, like, he endangered lives. And what, is he allowed to kill someone on the road because he's drunk, instead of paying somebody to drive him? He could have paid someone even to literally drive his vehicle with him home, someone who was sober, you know? Like, he has the money. Yeah, craziness. But yeah, that's the mindset of the rich and elite, isn't it? You know, that they don't, that they are above the law. They're not affected by the same things that we are all affected by. You know, and I think that was something that David Icke was pointing out as well. Like, when you look at the different layers of society, like a food pyramid, you know, if you set it out like that, yeah, us here at the bottom, we are catastrophically affected by things like, you know, oil prices going really up, and food prices, and freight, and all that sort of stuff like that. That all affects us drastically. Housing, everything, you know, power, etc. Because our lives depend on it. Like, literally, even, like, we'll starve to death, we'll be homeless, we'll freeze to death. Like, there's, you know, actual life-threatening issues for us, caused by money, caused by the actions of the rich and powerful and elite, creating wars that, like, has catastrophic consequences for us down here at the bottom. And then the higher up in that pyramid that you go, you know, the less affected they are, and also the more informed they are prior to these events, so they can make arrangements for themselves to be protected financially, physically, whatever. And I always wondered, you know, why it was, remember a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was a couple or more or whatever, but, you know, when it was like coming out, all these different people that had been paying, you know, construction companies and stuff, engineering companies, to construct like these hell bunkers, like hell bunker homes. I believe some of them even had like submarine docking underneath and stuff like that. And we were all like, what the hell? Like, why are you spending, you know, billions of dollars or millions of dollars, whatever, on a bunker home? Like, what are you worried about? You know, some of them, like, there's facilities around the world, there's bunkers, there's all sorts that has, you know, like really hardcore, thick, like steel doors and all sorts of stuff like that as well. You know, like, but it's like to keep people out, like it's to keep something out from your bunker. And it's like, what were you expecting? What were you expecting to be coming knocking at your bunker door? That's a little concerning. Should we be concerned? Like, because why aren't we getting warned to be concerned about whatever you're worried about? Maybe they're worried about us, you know, maybe that. Maybe they are worried that we're all going to find out the truth about all their nefariousness and their, you know, handshake deals and all that sort of stuff. And they're worried we're going to come knocking, and that we're going to be so outraged by what we find out, you know, what the truth is, that we're going to be coming hard with rage and wanting justice. I don't know. But, you know, you have to be careful, don't you, talking about things like this, because you just get labelled crazy and like a conspiracy theorist and all this. And it's like, okay, but are like police detectives and investigators, are they like crazy? Are they insane people because they come up with these crazy ideas about what's taking place in a crime? Or is it like that's just the way human brains function, to like decipher the truth in a situation, you know? And people come together to try to figure it out, just like in policing, you know, teams work together, don't they? Yeah, anywho, I have to go. Bubby is waking up. Yeah, just thought I would throw all of that out there. You guys see what you think about it. And I will see you all in another video. Bye.